It's a rainy day. I just got skunked on one of my favorite brook trout streams. It'll happen. And now I'm going to eat room temperature, car cabin temperature, gas station chicken nuggets. I mentioned I haven't seen a doctor in like 3 years. It's because I eat so well. No need. Come on, you can do it. All right. Okay, so regardless of whether I caught fish or not, I'm going to talk about something. Instead of just talking about life and you weren't born to pay bills and die and they can replace you at work in a heartbeat, so use your time for you and all that stuff. Let's talk about some actual fishing. So if you're new to fly fishing, one of the most common questions that new fly fishermen ask is, what fly should I use? And that's a really tough question to answer for anybody. Everybody's fishing someplace different. Everybody's fishing for different fish. Okay, well, what fly should I use for brown trout? Everybody's fishing for brown trout can answer that question. No, because everybody's fishing someplace different. And even if everybody's fishing in the same place, they're fishing at different times and different conditions. There's no one fly for everything, save for the really simple ones. If you just want to catch fish, woolly buggers and sandworm worms and anything that looks like a slug or a worm is about as sure of a bet as you can get on any given day. But we're not talking about those. I want to talk about coming up with a confidence fly. So if you're new to fly fishing, you want to know what fly you should be using. There's this term that I thought was kind of cool when I first started fly fishing. It's called a confidence fly. Let me explain what that is. It's really simple. It's a fly that you always have in your box that you're confident in using. Well, how do I know that? How do I know what fly that is? Listen, it's the fly that 9 out of 10 times when you don't know what's going on in the water and you're not sure what you should use, it's the fly that you feel the most comfortable using. It's something that maybe you've caught fish on a lot, or it's just something that in your mind, this really looks like it should work. And I like fishing it, even though I haven't caught a lot of fish on it yet. Because you're new, chances are you haven't caught a lot of fish. So you've got to get to that point. So you're going to fish a fly that to you just seems to make sense. Like, this should work. And I like fishing it. Once you catch a bunch of fish on that fly, whatever the pattern, that's your confidence fly. My confidence fly are these little tiny streamers that I tie. I'll tie them bigger, I'll tie them smaller. I tie them bigger for smallmouth and, for bass and stuff, and I tie them really small for brook trout. There's no name, I made it up. It's this little thing. It's a little streamer. Gray, craft fur, some white craft fur, some flash in it. It looks like a tiny little minnow. That's my confidence fly. Why is that my confidence fly? Because I fish them all the time. And yes, I have caught a ton of fish on them. I know they work. And when all else fails, and I'm not catching anything, even if I started with the confidence fly and it didn't do well, and I've moved through a whole bunch of other stuff in the fly box and nothing's working well, I go back to that streamer because I'm confident using it. I know that it works. I like the way it fishes. I like the way it looks. How can I relate this to something else that you've done when you're a new fly fisherman? Did you play Little League by any chance? Baseball? When you were a kid? You had a bat. You had your favorite bat. Now once you get past bat lengths and bat weights that are matched up to the player, then, you know, most kids are like, ooh, I want that bat because it's cool. It's got these cool colors. I really like it. I like the grip on it. I like the design on it. You could have picked up any other bat that was the same length and weight that belonged to one of your other teammates, but you liked your bat. You picked it out yourself. That was your confidence bat. You could have used somebody else's bat. You wanted to use yours. That was your confidence bat. Golf clubs are the same way, I'm sure. You have your your set of golf clubs that you like. You've tried other clubs, you've borrowed clubs. They're the right length and everything. They match yours. They're for you, you know, for someone your size, but you like yours better. Why? Because they're yours and you have confidence in them because you've golfed with them. Those golf clubs would be fine for somebody else, and then you borrow them and you're like, I don't like these clubs. Why? They're probably, chances are they could be fine, but they're not yours. You don't have confidence in them because they're not yours. A confidence fly is just that. It's something that you are comfortable with. It could be a dry fly, it could be a streamer, it could be a nymph, whatever. You find that one fly that you really like, that you believe should work well, and you enjoy fishing. If it's a nymph, you know you get it on the bottom. There's no doubt about it. If it's a streamer, you like the way it swims. You just do. You'd pick it before you'd pick any of the other streamers in your box. If it's a dry fly, maybe it stays floating longer than all the others. Maybe you just really like the profile of it and the colors. It's just, to you, it looks right. And you enjoy fishing it, whether you caught anything or not. That is your confidence fly. Most of the time, your confidence fly is going to be your confidence fly because it worked well and you've caught fish on it. So when you can't figure things out, you go back to your confidence fly because there's a better chance of catching fish on that than anything else. This is how it works. I fished my confidence fly today in the pouring rain on this little Adirondack stream for brook trout, and I got skunked. So I'm gonna blame it on something else, not the fly, because that fly has worked there 100 times before. I'll blame it on the rain. I'll blame it on the cloud cover. I'll blame it on the lack of water in the stream. The water temperature is down where it should be, but man, the streams are low this year. We didn't get a lot of rain. But I'm not going to blame it on that confidence fly, on my streamer that I always use, that I always catch fish on. So you need to get comfortable if you're just starting out fly fishing with the rod that you're going to use. Some people I have a confidence rod. I have probably a dozen rods, but I have one specific rod I always pick up before all the others. And you know what? That's not the rod that I fished today. Normally on that stream, I fish a 6.5 foot 3-weight, and today I fished a 10.5 foot 4-weight. Why? I don't know. I just wanted to fish it. But I wasn't as comfortable on the stream with that long rod as I was the short rod I always fish up there. So I could blame it on that. I have a confidence rod, and I didn't use it. Fly fishing is just as much getting comfortable as it is the learning part of it. Once you get comfortable, you're going to learn a lot more because you're comfortable and you're not trying to figure other things out. You're just out there. It's all cool. I like this fly. I like this rod. Let's fish. Then you're going to start to learn because you're not worrying about all the other stuff. So that's my tip on the marginal fly fisherman for today. The confidence fly. And apparently a confidence rod. If you got more than one. So if you haven't read my books, go on Amazon. Reflections of a Fly Rod and Carper Jerks. You can get them in paperback and ebook format. You can get them on jprossflyrods.com, or maybe you'll find your next confidence rod. subscribe to the channel so that maybe one of these times I'll actually catch a fish on film. Wouldn't that be amazing? Maybe the rain will let up before I get home too. Probably not. But if it's raining, I don't have to mow my lawn. Call in sick, go fishing.